us to come. Oh,
I got you, Mike. You didn't know it was coming. You could say that at that point I was a trap king.
oh.
You activated my trap card, buddy.
Welcome back to Gotta Read 'Em All, a Pokemon podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always,
The
is
trickster
Jin.
god.
Is
The
Jin.
trickster god, Jin.
Jin is gonna come Graves.
I'm gonna come great. You know how bad that would hurt? Like randomly, if we ever went to a convention together and you just see a gravestone fly through the wall, bam! Jacob, I told you to stop. Think about those damages.
What are we talking about this time, Matt?
We're talking about Pokemon. Gotta read them all. Chapter 22. A hollow Victreebel.
22. Isn't that a song?
Yeah, that's a Taylor Swift song. I used to play that for my friends when they turned 22. Because it came out when I was like 19, so I was like, this is perfect.
Okay. So, what are we talking about? What happened last time on the podcast?
Last time on Pokemon Adventures.
Last time on Pokemon Z.
Red was eaten by a Victreebel. Somewhat. And a robo-Pidgey told him if you fall too far in its mouth, you will be digested. Stay tuned for episodes 27, 28, 29 when we have this epic conclusion of Pokemon Adventures in the Safari Zone.
Doesn't the Safari Zone end after this one?
It does, but you know that's how it happens in Dragon Ball Z.
True. So
he's powering up still.
So what happened last time? Red was being hunted by the Nidoking.
Red entered the Safari Zone, all cool like, and he decided, hey, I'm going to pull out one of my anal bead Pokeballs that I have, and I am going to catch a Nidoking and be the Supreme King in this area. And instead, he caught a almost spit roasted Nidoking and pissed off the other two almost spit roasters, Nidokings, and shit happened from there. I mean,
yeah, shit happened from there. Definitely,
he was trying to hunt him down like Michael Myers hunts all the other people in the Halloween trilogies.
Yeah. So Red is trying to not be consumed by the Victreebel. He's got his feet propped up and he's trying to hold himself up. To no avail, he gets wrapped up in the Victreebel's vines.
He kind of reminds me of one of those, the people that spin on the rings like as a balancing act.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it reminds me of. But the ring fell over.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
He's like, somebody told me the floor was lava, and I'm trying not to touch it.
But we see all these. What are they called? Not bell sprouts.
Oh, weeping bells?
Weeping bells. And they're like, Red's like looking at them and they're hungry, right?
Yes.
They're hungry and there's all these other...
Well, they're not hungry. What they're trying to do is get nutrients out of certain Pokemon or whatever, and they're going to put them into bell sprouts to make them evolve into weeping bells. It's like a ritual that they do.
I have never heard about this. This was so weird to see.
No, but you know what this made me think of, though, was the Bulbasaur ritual from the show.
I guess. Maybe. It reminded me of like some kind of human sacrifice bullshit.
That is, which I do have to point out one thing. If we were going to really argue this crap, right?
Uh-huh.
The page that has the weeping bell at the top of it with the bell sprouts over on the side, and Red is like, oh my god, what's all these guys? We have something that is not a Pokemon that I know of, but you could argue a fact that it is a Fearow, a really tiny Fearow, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is the thing that looks like a badger rat?
Yeah, no, I saw that too, and I was like, "What is that? Is that like a Ratatat, or like a Raticade?"
I don't know. And this is where I have to question the continuity of Pokemon and Pokemon Adventures. Is
Uh huh.
because are there really real animals out there as well besides the Pokemon, or not? That's
I
all I
want
have
to
to
say,
say.
it might be a Ratatat.
I don't know. It,
Maybe
it
because
looks really
we
tiny.
see, I totally missed that in the first panel, but
Yeah,
like then they show it again in like on the next page, but from a different
yeah,
like
yeah,
form or like
yeah.
position, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? That's not a Pokemon. Like, what's going on here? But
Right.
I like this scene where the Pidgeybot's like, "Hey, you got anything in your arsenal other than Pokeballs to help
Yeah,
out?" And you see like everything he has. So has like the tuning fork things, some Pokeballs, a can of soda, a can of Repel, a Poke Flute, and whatever that
a Pokedoll.
Clefairy thing is.
A Pokedoll.
Is it? Is that what it
Yeah,
is? That's what it's supposed to be.
yeah,
But we see like the Pokemon getting like their life force like sucked out of them. I gotta say it's fucking hardcore, like creepy, like just to see them get like just their nutrition and stuff like sucked out of their body.
yeah.
That was and like oh no, I almost said Ash. Red is next, but
Right.
Pidge.
Well, and the funny thing is, this is the third event, to my recollection,
Uh
that
huh.
we had. That is like, this is like reason number three why you should read Pokemon Adventures, because it's so fucking gritty. Because you're reading it and you're like, oh no, it's Pokemon, it's going to be a beautiful like little story or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you're sitting there and you're like, no, like weeping bells and stuff are like fucking succubus, and they will suck your life force out and give it to their offspring, and basically
Yeah.
leave you as a mummied husk and throw your body away and be like, haha, motherfucker.
Well, that's basically what they're doing. But I like this scene where Pidgeybot is like, "Oh yeah, let's do this," and try to get out of this scenario. Which he's not. Pidgeybot just like not like being held captive.
Right. Well,
But he gets
and
the
another thing I want to point out about it is, if you and I were in this situation, how do you think we would handle this?
oh, I don't know if I would be able to handle it, to be honest.
I feel like we would get a cold sweat going. Be like, oh shit, this is stuff of nightmares.
I would try to eat myself out of the Victreebel's body.
It'd be like, oh my god, Cell in Dragon Ball Z is about to stick his tail in me, and I'm about to be a thing of nothingness.
True, true. But where is it? Did I miss it? Oh, I went backwards. Sorry. So Pidgeybot gets the Poke Flute that Red has, and basically scares off all the Weeping Bells and the Bell Sprouts.
He wakes him up.
He wakes him up. I thought he was
No,
get.
they're if you go back to the page underneath where he asks him what items he has, and you go to the panel right underneath that, it has all of them
Oh
sleeping.
yeah, 'cause it wake. Okay, okay,
Yeah, and so he played the flute because the flute's what he used for Snorlax.
okay. So he woke him up, and
Yeah.
he gets a hold of his Clefairy doll, and he like throws it up in the air to like I guess distract them. It seemed like.
So, as far as I know, there's something about a Pokédoll that when other Pokemon see it, they automatically want to attack it. So it's like the substitution move
Or like
where
it's
you
like a
throw.
decoy type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So they will want to basically like a cat with catnip.
Mm-hmm.
They want to attack that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, that
yeah,
makes sense, I guess.
that's how I've always kind of seen or heard a Pokédoll being
Mm-hmm.
used.
But Red ends up getting away from the Bell Sprout and the Weeping Bells and the Victory Bells, gets away, and who happens to show up but Nidoking? And Nidoking is not going to let anything stand in his way from basically killing
Hey,
Red.
I thought we talked about this. His name is
What?
now Nidoclops.
Oh, Nidoclops? Sorry.
Nidoclops because he's only got the one eye.
So we see him start to fight Victory Bell, and Red's trying to get away. He's like, "Oh yeah, now's my chance." And Pidgeybot's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Let's go. Let's get out of here. You know, we don't have time for this. Let's just like let them fight and we'll get out of here." But Red ends up catching Victory Bell, and Pidgeybot's like, what are you doing? That's so much weaker than Nidoking. But he's going to use the Victory Bell to basically fight the Nidoking. And
Yeah,
I thought it was funny that he didn't know any of the moves that Victory Bell used. And he had to look them up on his Pokédex. I thought that was pretty funny.
yeah. Well,
He
and
like
here's the thing. Here's the thing I question about it though
uh-huh.
is in the last chapter, chapter 21,
Hmm.
Pidgey brought up that Nidoking's claws are poisonous, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or
I,
they have acid in
i.e.,
them.
i.e., that means he's basically a poison Pokemon, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then how the hell is poison powder going to work on him?
That's a good question.
I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why he
Because
would
he
say
had
poison
like
powder?
acid in his claws, or acid, some kind of acid secreted from his claws.
It's acid in his blood.
Maybe like the predator or like
Yeah,
alien.
yeah,
Yeah. But he uses Victory Bell to tie up uh Nidoking, and Nidoking is basically in a whole bondage situation at this moment. And Red takes the time to look up on his Pokédex what moves actually Victory Bell has, and he's like, "Okay, poison powder," and poisons Nidoking into, I guess, submission, and captures the Nidoking, which
yeah.
he made quick work of that. Did they their fight like last that long beforehand that he was that weak to get?
I don't know, but you know that there is the other part after it knocked the Victory Bell out that it
Hmm.
was fighting a group of, or not the Victory Bell. When it knocked the Victory Bell, it was fighting
Hmm.
a group of Weeping Bell after that.
Oh, did
So
I miss
so
that
I don't
part?
know. It's right after he knocks the Victory Bell out, and then there's a group of the Weeping Bell, and he like slashes at him, and it's on the panel.
Oh,
It's on the panel where it says, "If Nidoking hits them while trying to get me, they'll think it's coming to steal their prey."
oh yeah, I see it. I see it.
So I don't know if like the group of them weren't strong enough to beat him by themselves, but then they all took a little chunk out of him.
Yeah, yeah. Man, the faces that this Pidgeybot makes are weird. They're like funny weird.
I know you'd think that it couldn't make him at all.
Yeah, because he may has this Pidgeybot's like very very expressive.
Right. See, look, I
It's
told you it's a future Pokemon that's going to be revealed.
it's weird because like its microphone in its mouth looks like teeth, kind of. If you look at it in certain angles, it just looks like it's always angry,
Yeah.
pissed off, But he
So
catches the
so here's a question: if
uh
in a future game after Scarlet and Violet come out,
huh.
would you have a Pidgeybot on your roster?
I don't know. Does he talk
Maybe in
like
game.
Pidgeybot does?
Maybe in game.
Because Pidgeybot's just like a robot android, like AI
Yeah,
system.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it would be closely related to a Magnemite.
Can we take Pidgeybot and replace him with like the Pokédex, where he just tells us every random thing and freaks out?
Oh, like a Rotom,
Yeah, yeah,
like the Rotom Dex is a Pidgey Dex.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. That would be funny too.
he's just there like talking and giving monologues of how
Yeah.
things work and stuff. But he's like always angry or like
This
scared.
is how this works.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah,
right. So we catch the Nidoking, and then we have all of the Bellsprout, Victreebel, Weeping Bells, and the Nidokings, which I'm still questioning. Why didn't we get like a Nidorino or a Nidoran?
yeah. It's true. Like where were those ones? Like we saw like some Pokemon like the Dragonair. There's no Dragonair now. We saw it like in the beginning of the last chapter.
Right, right. It's something that I have to question strongly.
Maybe they told him you could only use these Pokemon for
Maybe.
the
Hey,
chapter.
you name the chapter Victory Bell. You have to use a Victory Bell in it, and it is part of the Safari Zone two-parter. Nidoking's got to be a part of it because his name was used in the last title.
Which is funny because the chapter names are different than in Japanese.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like so and so versus so and so. That's what the chapter is.
yeah. And so let me ask you this other question. So we have that part, and
Uh,
we have Red being like, "Oh boy," and robo-Pidgey or Pidgeybot being like, "Oh crap," with the spring coming out of his arm.
yeah.
Do you think that all of this is kind of like we went back in time a little bit to see what was happening with Red and Pidgeybot before they found the hat? Because at the end of the last chapter, we see Pokemon and the researchers, or Red's Pokemon and the researchers come up on his hat.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it was
But
all
it
happening like simultaneously.
but it looks like it's at nighttime,
Yeah,
you know. Well, I guess if you're looking at it in a certain way, they didn't find the hat yet. But I
yeah.
thought they originally did, but I guess not.
No, in the last chapter they did find the hat, I believe.
I'm looking at. I don't think so. I don't think they found it yet, but it is laying on
Okay.
the ground.
Okay, maybe they were close to it.
But I mean, that's what I thought. We were led to believe that it was,
Yeah.
sitting there.
But they end up finding some other people and they're like, "Oh, this is Victreebel country. You got to watch out, as they're all looking for Red and Red shows up with a bunch of other fucking Pokemon he just happened to catch, which he caught all these different Nidokings and Bellsprouts and stuff and uh they're all very surprised that he caught all these Pokemon. But
Yeah,
do you think you would just need like one of each? There's like a ton of these things.
yeah. I mean, he caught a bunch. He
And
caught some Execute. He caught some Parasect.
look at the size of the Weeping Bell and the Victory Bells. How much different size wise they are between like they're close to Nidoking size.
Well, I mean, if you think on it too, the same page, if you look at the top where he's sitting on one of their heads, a Nidoking,
Hmm.
and to think that he fell into one of the Weeping Bell's mouths and was basically like straddling the rim,
Yeah.
how big they are compared to each other.
Yeah, true. And that's how this one ends. He survives his ordeal with the Weeping Bell and the Nidoking. Which
Yeah,
I don't
which
see. I don't see the one-eyed Nidoking. Maybe his eyeball
maybe
healed.
it's no, I think it's the one on the right where it
Okay.
looks like he's blinking or he's kind of got like winking at us.
Okay.
I think that's it
Okay.
because the
Which
other eye's open.
I mean, I think that would be a cool addition to his team as a Nidoking to have,
Right.
which we don't really normally see Nidoking a lot, in the
Well,
Pokemon
when I
universe.
was first reading this, I kind of skimmed the chapter real quick just to
Yeah,
see like what Pokemon we'd see, and I totally thought we were going to have Giovanni pop up because Giovanni has the Nidoking.
true, and he is pretty big in the next chapter.
Right. So, but at the end of this chapter that we're on 22, where it says you caught all these, and he said you should have seen the ones that got away. I was like, what a fucking cop out.
We're the ones that got away. Like, come on,
Yeah.
you know,
I just want to be like, Red, don't be a little bitch. Go after all of
go
them.
go go get those
How would you
Pokemon.
let any? Look at all the ones you caught. How did you let any of them get away?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, come
So,
on.
but the one thing still, if we look at all the Pokemon that are in this last panel, there's not a Dragonair on it anywhere.
No, but we saw one in that last chapter.
Exactly. So he caught everything else but the Dragonair.
Yeah, which it makes me think of Ash when he caught all those Toros.
That's true. That is very true as well.
So we're gonna see him like use all of these, or is he just gonna like let him live on Professor Oak's whatever it
I,
was?
yeah, he's probably going to let him live on the ranch.
Which we didn't really see the ranch. They don't really have the ranch in this one, do they? Like he
I
just
don't
has
think they have. I don't think they have a ranch at all.
they're just in the Pokeballs, right? They're in the research facility.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not 100%
Yeah.
sure on any of that.
So, what did you think of this chapter?
Um,
I just
it
thought it was.
was
I just thought it was okay.
it was cool to see that he won the victory over all these Pokemon.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I mean, I would have loved if they would have went more into him actually fighting them instead of just saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey,
Yeah, it was like, oh yay, we won, yay! But I
yeah,
did like the fact that he kind of used the Pokemon against each other.
right,
Like
right,
he and because I mean, Pidgey bot was all about like, oh no, the Victory Bell is so much more weaker than the Nidoking. It will not like make it. And
right,
like it just so happened he was able to weaken him enough to catch Nidoking and then catch all these other Pokemon. And like somewhat be resourceful,
yeah.
even though he caused this whole mess to begin with.
Well, and thinking about it here too, real quick, this is what I want to point out. Um, you know, we don't actually see like because I mean, you and I kind of know what his main team is going to end up being.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but some he's already got, some he doesn't. Different things like that. And I find it really weird too that well, I guess I'm gonna have to spoil one. The Eevee, I'm surprised that when we went back to the researchers, we saw Poliwrath, we
Hmm.
saw Ivysaur, we saw Pikachu, but we didn't see Eevee anywhere.
No, it's almost like those three are like his three mains.
Exactly, and it's funny too, like the
Or
layout of
and
how they
and
are.
we didn't see Snorlax.
This is true too. We didn't see Snorlax,
No
and
Snorlax.
it's kind of funny though in this aspect as we go further and as we go on. Um, Ones that we know that he has on him that he's had on him through past chapters,
Hmm.
and ones that he doesn't have anymore. Um, to really see how flexible, I guess, of a Pokemon trainer Red is compared to Blue, because Blue does keep most of his with him on a regular basis.
Well, I mean, even on the very first cover for Volume One, it's Bulbasaur, Poliwhirl, and Pikachu.
This is true,
You
yeah.
know, and like he only has. I'm looking at the picture now. Two more Pokemon to add to his team
At the
after
end,
this. Yeah, because he's
uh,
got Snorlax, Poliwrath, Venus, Ivysaur, and then Pikachu. So he has like two more to add, which spoilers are Gyarados and that was it Arcanine or whatever it's called.
oh, the other one. Who are we talking about? Blue or red?
Red.
Okay. Well, so at the end of this, if you have the book like I have, you have the pocket dex thingy that is Red's Pokédex thing of what he has on him, and he has Pikachu, Ivysaur, the Poliwrath, Snorlax, a Gyarados, and an Aerodactyl.
That's what his Aerodactyl. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think Blue ends up getting the Arcanine,
Yeah.
but
Wait,
you know,
hold on. At the end of this, we're skipping ahead, but at the end of this, it says he's caught number caught. He has caught 132 Pokemon by the end of Volume 3. he's only found 71 of these Pokemon.
See,
So
mine's different than that. Mine
is
mine says number caught is 46 and number found is 104.
oh,
And mine, only goes up to book 2 of what you got.
okay. Maybe they're adding into what book 3 has too.
I don't know, because does yours at the end of, let's see, what's the last chapter of mine? 27. Yours at
Uh-huh.
the end of 27, does it not have the page in there that says that?
It's at the mine's at the very very end. It says
Okay.
Red's Pokédex as of Adventure 40, which is the end of Volume 3.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
mine says Red's team as of chapter 27.
Okay. So yeah, it's a little different in
So mine whenever we get through book 3, mine will probably sync up with yours and have the same ending page for me.
well, I mean, you have the map like you had the map at one point, and the map for mine is like at the very end of the book.
Yeah, but you only get adventure route map 3,
Okay.
right?
So after 27, after Adventure 27, I have the Route 2 adventure map
Okay.
is
I
is what
I
I
have
have.
the route I have the route adventure map too.
Okay. And then it goes into chapter 28.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
which we will finally be done with eventually. Because I hope we get back on this in a more regular schedule and doing these again. Because we
Yeah.
kind of took quite a bit of a break from doing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, but all in all, like as just an individual chapter, I thought it was a fine chapter. It didn't like work for me as individual chapter, but when it put together with the last chapter, I felt like it works perfectly as one overarching story if you read back to back. But
Right.
splitting up, I felt like it hindered it a little bit. Like I
True.
kind of felt like this could just have been like a whole chapter into itself. Like you
True.
could have put both into one chapter and just had like
True.
another story.
Well, and I
Uh,
mean, we've talked about that too. Is I think that there are different layouts that they do, and they say, hey, we want to do the story, and they put the story arc out there. They say,
yeah,
yeah, whenever we do this, we expect it to cover 3 chapters. So then they have to make the
yeah,
story where it covers the 3 chapters for it.
yeah,
Which could be a good explanation of
uh-huh.
why he has certain Pokemon and why he doesn't.
Yeah,
Because I mean, if we go through up to, I don't know, let's say book 3, and
mm-hmm,
we only see Poliwrath, Ivysaur, and um, Pikachu,
mm-hmm,
the creator of it probably said, well, I don't want to work on that one right now. I'm going to work on
yeah.
this one. Well, what's it supposed to be in between? What guys does he have? And kind of play it from there, where like that's why we don't see Snorlax. That's why we don't
I
see,
yeah. I think
Pidgey.
if we continue with the pace we're doing, I think we would be able to finish the first 3 volumes by the end of this year. To be honest, and then maybe it'll take us the next year to complete Omnibus 2. We'll see. You know,
I don't know. It just depends. Because
I think
let's
if
see.
I think we can do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13.
Uh huh.
So we should be able to get 2 books done in a year.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll
So
see. We'll see.
hopefully
Maybe we'll have to double up and just crank them
we'll
out.
have to we'll have to put some bonus ones out so we can
Bonus
get to
episodes.
so we
Yeah.
can like start the new year with like hey, we're in book 3.
Or-
Let's finish this.
Yeah. You know.
So
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it's a fine chapter. Like, I'm more interested in the next chapter, to be honest. Like the next 2-3 chapters,
yeah.
because I feel like we're gonna get like little bit more like meat on the bone with
Oh
that.
yeah, I definitely feel like when we get farther into it and we flush out his well, I guess his first team a little more. I feel like it does have more come out that way.
Yeah, because I'm like just flipping through it and like it looks really cool.
But
Like,
well,
because I've
I'm also waiting because, and you've read it. You've read into like um, Black and White and Diamond and Pearl and things like that. And some of those ones, reading into those, they try and stick to the stuff too much, and I think it really loses its premise with the game.
yeah, I've read some of Sword and Shield, and I've read Sun and Moon, and
Yeah,
honestly, like those didn't like really connect with me on that.
yeah,
But like I think like after this initial like, because I ended up giving those to my children to read.
yeah,
Because I was like I don't want to collect these anymore. I think after we get done with this first like the first full like 10 omnibuses or whatever, I think I might be done reading Pokemon, to be honest. Like,
yeah. Besides the ones that are related to those,
yes, besides the ones that are like related to those specifically, I
yeah,
think I might be done because
yeah.
I read like Sun and Moon, which like Blue shows up in Sun and Moon actually. So it's like
That's redundant.
related, huh?
That's redundant. It's a different blue.
It's
Alternate
it's
timeline.
it's actually not a different Blue.
It's a
It's
different blue. Alternate timeline.
it's no, he doesn't show up in Sun and Moon. He shows up in X and Y. That's what he shows up in, I believe,
Alternate timeline. Not a thing.
or whatever. I don't remember. I don't remember what he shows up in one of them, but like, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence of like if I want to continue them or not continue them because
Yeah,
I am enjoying these and stuff. I'm really more interested to see if I'm going to enjoy the artwork as much because they do end up switching the artist after the yellow volumes.
yeah,
So we'll see. Because I really like this artwork.
yeah,
Like I like it a lot.
yeah.
And well, but I mean, we'll see. Anyways, guys. Uh,
Let us know your thoughts. What's your favorite Pokemon? Where have what did you think about this chapter? Do you think that there's a dark side to Pokemon as well? I mean, like we brought up from the last one of Soul Suckers. Um, what else do you think, really, between the regular Pokemon and the um, anime and whatnot,
yeah,
or the manga and the anime? So, um, but yeah,
yeah.
as always, hold on. My computer did something weird. As always, though, guys, thanks for listening. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.